Yeah, we are live. Great. Let me just pull up the presentation. Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session. I think this is one of the most awaited session which has been asked by a lot of students about PR in UK and Canada. So I think a lot of LeapScholar students, we have a lot of traction for both the countries. A lot of students ask us about these countries. So we thought, why not actually do a session on how to actually get a PR in both of these countries and give you an idea, what is the process like and how long it will take. So let's wait for students to join, and we've got one question already. We'll answer that shortly, Abrar. Guys, if you can hear us, please drop a hi or hello or a good evening in the chat box, and do note that to be able to post your comments or your queries into the chat box, you have to be subscribed to the channel. So just press the subscribe button, and I'm sure you'll not regret it, because we do a lot of other videos as well apart from live sessions. So we have around 3 to 4 videos coming out every week, and in those videos we talk about a lot of stuff, including these countries and what kind of scholarships are on offer, what kind of jobs are there. So yeah, let's wait. So we welcome Seema as well with us. Seema has been very regular with on our lives now for quite a while. So for those who are joining for the first time, let me introduce you to her. So she works with Leap as a learning and development manager, and she trains other counselors, and she herself has over a decade of experience in counseling and mentoring students. And we were just discussing, Seema's daughter is also moving to Australia this July. She already got 30% scholarship for a master's in international management at University of Adelaide, which is again a group of 8 university, one of the most highly respected universities in the world and in Australia. So congratulations, Seema. That's good to hear. So I'm pretty much sure, students have a lot to learn from you as well. So right. So Seema has also worked with IDP in the past, and now she's with Leap, and she's here to answer all your queries. So keep posting your questions. Hi, Priyanshi. Good evening. Hi, Keshav. Right. So guys, just one more thing I'm repeating again. To be able to post the questions in the chat box, you need to be subscribed to the channel, and for that, just press the subscribe button, and then you can post the questions. So yeah, in today's session, we're going to cover 2 major points, which is the PR process in the UK and the PR process in Canada. So a lot of students have these queries, like after graduation, they get a post-study work visa, how do they settle in, and stuff like that. So we thought, why not give you a brief idea, like a quick review of a quick step-by-step guide where you can understand how to apply for PR after you graduate. And we'll be also discussing timeline, that how long it will take to get the PR in both countries. And then based on your circumstances or your choices, you can make a choice, like which country you want to study in. Of course, we'll be picking up live questions from the audience as well. Okay, so there's one question from Diljit. I can't book appointment because of all have booked. Diljit, okay, so you can try and book an appointment early in the little bit early in the morning, because slots fill up very fast. So I would advise you to to maybe book an appointment a day in advance, or maybe early in the morning. Try doing that. Otherwise, you can also check out our website. There is a WhatsApp number and an email. You can email that, and someone will get in touch with you. Cool. So let's start with today's session, and you can keep posting your questions. I'll keep picking the questions in between the session. Right, over to you, Seema. So let's start with the PR process in the UK.
So that's the important thing, with after investing a huge amount of money, the student look for PR only. So PR process in UK, now UK is also allowing a post-study work visa for 2 years. So after this 2 years in durations, graduate will have to look for a job. So once you get a job, employer should be ready to sponsor for extension. And there are certain other conditions you have to satisfy. So this is how it works. So once you enroll with master's program or any program, you will get a post-study work right for 2 years. And within this 2 years, you have to get a employment. You have to get a job, and your employer would be responsible to sponsor you for extension. And you have to, at the same time, conditions are there. You have to satisfy that conditions.
Right. So like Seema said, of course, the process starts with your post-study work visa, so which is also called the graduate route. So once you get a job, and then is the right time when you actually start with the whole process of the PR. So moving on to the next slide. So once you get a job, you should be able to secure sponsorship from your employer. And by sponsorship, I mean your employer should be ready to sponsor you for a skilled worker visa. And once you hold that skilled worker visa for 5 years, you can apply for the ILR, which is also called the indefinite leave to remain, also called the PR. Right. And now, a lot of people do ask me, like, why an employer would sponsor you. So guys, there has been a lot of changes in the UK immigration system, especially after Brexit. So Brexit is basically Britain's exit from the European Union. So earlier, UK was a part of EU, and under the EU rules, any European citizen could move to the UK without a visa to study or to work or to live indefinitely, as in permanently, without requiring a visa. Now things have changed. After the Brexit, even the European citizens or the people from European countries will also need a visa to study or work in the UK. So what happened earlier was, employers would usually not hire someone from other countries because of the visa issues. But now, obviously, if they're facing a talent shortage, which the UK is facing right now, they'll be able to hire international workers because they have to sponsor visa for everyone. So yeah, and plus the process is very much simplified now over time. So there is a higher chance that getting an employer sponsorship is possible. And obviously, if you work well, if you are bringing good skills to the table, I always say in all my sessions that if you're boosting the company's revenues, if you're kind of adding value to the whole firm, any company would be happily they'll happily sponsor you. And plus, a lot of students who have already graduated have been getting job offers, and they have been sponsoring work visas as well. I'll try and make a video. Like I'm getting in touch with a few people, and maybe I'll bring to you one video wherein we bring someone who was sponsored by an employer in the UK, and they have got a skilled worker visa. So we'll try and bring a video as well soon. Cool. So these are the conditions. So over to you, Seema.
PR process in the UK conditions. So that when there is a PR thing is there are certain conditions which you have to fulfill. Okay, job should be eligible for visa. Most jobs are included. Means generally all the jobs, majorly the students are going after graduation, will be eligible or included in the visas. Earn minimum 2560 GBP per annum, so that the threshold of your salary should be 19,000 for some jobs. Okay, for British degree will be proof of English language skills. So apart from British, as you are having the degree, UK degree, you don't have to resit for IELTS or PTE. So only criteria is that you have to have minimum per annum 25600 GBP, which if we convert into Indian currency, it will come to
25 lakhs.
25 lakhs. It will come to 25 lakhs, which is not a very huge figure also. If you get a proper job, you can easily earn that. And these are the conditions to get into PR.
Right. So guys, just to give you an idea here, on an average, the average salary in the UK hovers around £28,000 figure. And like I said, salary threshold can be low as 19,000 as well. So there are some very, I would say, crucial jobs which are in shortage, and for those jobs, salary threshold is very, very low. So it's pretty straightforward. Pretty, made the whole process pretty easier as well. So definitely makes a very good sense if you're considering UK as your future destination. Obviously, the timeline is a little bit longer. So let us discuss timeline here. So ideally, it may take you around 5.5 to 7 years after graduation to become a British permanent resident. So let's say once you graduate, right, you get a job, and some people may take, they'll take 2 months to get a job. Some people may take 6 months to get a job. Maybe some people, they are able to secure a job immediately after graduation. So it will depend on how soon you get a job and how soon your employer is ready to sponsor you. So some employers may sponsor you then and there. Some employers may take 6 months time, a year's time to look at your progress, how you're performing, and then sponsor you. And then some employers may take 2 years, till the time your post-study visa is valid, to see how you perform in the company and what kind of skills you bring. So according to that will be based on personal circumstances. So once the employer is ready to sponsor you, you can apply for the skilled worker visa. And once you have the skilled worker visa for 5 years, then you can apply for the indefinite leave to remain. So ideally, somewhere between 5.5 to 7 years is an ideal duration, I would say, we can look at. It will take the time to get a PR in the UK. And once you get the PR, you can also apply for the British passport after a certain time period. And even if you get the British PR, you get all the facilities or whatever benefits a local British citizen would get. Cool. Before I start taking questions, there's one question for you. What is the name for the UK government body that deals in visas? So is it A, UK Border Agency, B, it's the UK Visa and Immigration, C, is it UK Borders Commission, or D, it's Immigration UK? So while you guys answer that, let me just pick up some questions from the audience. So I have first question from Harvinder. Harvinder, I already read your question. You have applied for September in February 22, and you've not received any information on your offer letter. Well, Harvinder, can you tell me in the chat? I'll pick up your question somewhere in the session only. Can you tell me in the chat which university you applied for, and was it a master's course or a course or a bachelor's course? Right. First question we had was from Abrar. Is it worth to do MSc Business Analytics from Imperial College?
It's anytime worth to do Masters of Business Analytics from Imperial College. Because the course itself is a very niche course, business analytics, and apart from that, the college itself is a very high-ranked university. We have, first of all, we have to apply and let us get the offer letter first, and then if the student get the offer letter, it's really worth to be there in Imperial College of London.
Right. So, guys, just to give an idea here, Imperial College is a world top 10 university. It's one of the, I would say, 4 highly ranked universities in the UK, which includes UCL, Imperial College, Oxford, and Cambridge. So getting an offer letter from Imperial College is a very, very, I think, big achievement in itself. Right, Seema?
Yeah, that's a very big achievement.
Right. Next question we have from Sumesh. Scope of studying international business management in the UK.
International business management, anything related to management program is having a great scope in UK. And you can get most of the Russell Group University is having Masters of International Management. So you can apply for that and get the offer letter. And they do have some scholarships also.
Right. Next question is from Love Yourself. Again, very interesting name. Best universities in the UK for masters. See, it will also depend on the kind of subjects you're looking at. But if you're talking about best universities, then I think Seema has already told you it's Russell Group universities should be the top preference. Next is Aryan, he's asking, is UK PR difficult for business students? Well, Aryan, it's not, I will not say it's difficult. See, UK visa, UK PR is definitely trickier than Canada, obviously. But again, once you get a job and if you are good at what you're doing and if your employer is ready to sponsor you, I think even if you're from any stream, it's not difficult. Because see, what matters at the end is, your skill level. And we have to understand that, Western countries work on a very different level altogether, as in like they don't have campus placements. So networking is very important. So if you're planning to
Right.
study abroad in the UK, you should start networking a lot. And LinkedIn is at your disposal. You can use LinkedIn to connect with people. Your university is going to help you with connecting with the employers. They have careers days, during which a lot of university, these employers, they come on campus and they hold information events wherein you can connect with them, and then you can subsequently apply for jobs. So once you get a job, it's not difficult. If you get a job in an MNC, then I think a lot of MNCs would be happily uh, offer you a sponsorship as well, including a small businesses as well. So if you go through, the news channels, especially the British newspapers right now, there is a lot of skill shortage in the UK, and the UK has been actively kind of, ever since they left the EU, they have been actively negotiating a lot of free trade agreements with a lot of countries, including India. So Boris Johnson was here last week, and he did kind of negotiate a lot of deals with Indian, these industrialists and companies as well to invest in the UK. So the UK is seeing a lot of investment, and definitely there would be a lot of job creation coming up. So yeah, definitely a good choice. Seema, next question I have, I think we did answer this question in last session as well. Satyam is asking, for hospitality and tourism, which country should I choose?
It will be Australia, Canada, UK, New Zealand also is having very good programs for hospitality.
Right. I hope that answers your question. Aryan, again, he's like PR after IB, International Business Management, PGDM. Okay, Aryan, for to get a post-study work in the UK, you have to do a master's or a bachelor's level degree, not a diploma. So after PGDM or a diploma level program, you cannot get the post-study work. Am I right, Seema?
Yes, post-study work,
Yeah.
right, is only for bachelor's and master's, as well as PhD student.
Right. I hope that answers your question. Next, very interesting question I have from Binu. So, asking about UK PR for social work with 1.5 years of experience. Okay, I have one very interesting news for you. The UK government has, I think for few categories, they have lifted how many hours you can work part-time, right? Recently, there was an announcement. And
Right.
that includes people from social work as well.
Social work.
So I think we know that's a good news for you. If you go to the UK, the 20-hour wala thing does not apply to you. So you can work 40 hours a week, even when you're studying. So definitely you can earn more. So that's the added advantage. And plus, social work is one of the most in-demand, uh, programs in the UK, given that the UK government has lifted the 20-hour requirement from social work. It means they need people in the industry. So I hope that answers the question. Sarvesh, I cannot book any slots for counseling for more than 3 months. Okay. Sarvesh, there is a WhatsApp number. It may be given in the description box, and there is an email ID as well. Please email on that, and I'll make sure someone reaches out to you as soon as possible. Seema, next question we have is from Tanuja. Job market for MSc in HRM, UK or Canada? Like obviously she's also looking for CIPD and CPHR, the professional qualifications, which has more demand and opportunities.
So which country is having more demand? She's asking. If she's looking for PG diploma, then she has to take Canada as an option. But if she is looking for a master's program, she can obviously take UK as a destination.
Right. Tanuja, I hope that answers the question. Do note that for MSc, Masters in HRM, like Seema said, you need a 4-year degree from India to get into a master's program in Canada. But in Canada, you can get a PG diploma if you have a 3 years degree. But in the UK, you can get a master's program. Daljit Singh is asking, is UK affordable for studying BBA, especially for a middle class student? Let me put it that way, Daljit. If we compare UK with, let's say, Canada here, so Canada has a 4-year degree, right? So when we talk about a 4-year degree, your tuition fee will be more because you'll be paying tuition fee for 4 years. Plus your living cost will be more because you'll be paying living cost for 4 years. UK has a 3-year degree, so definitely the living cost and the tuition fee will be lower. So yeah, UK will be definitely more affordable. However, I think, what about Australia? I think Australia is a little bit expensive than UK or something similar.
There are different types of university in Australia. Some universities are quite cheaper. So, and they even give some scholarships. So it will come to budgeted. If the student is looking for budgeted university, so he can keep in mind UK and Australia, because these two is having 3 years of education. Bachelor's is 3 years. And both the destination even give scholarships also.
Right.
So they can look for both the destination.
Right. Next question we have, Dhaval Kumar. I'm a BTech graduate, 2016. Can I get master's scholarship? Dhaval, after 2016, are you working or do you have a gap? We need to know more details before we can tell you. But obviously, if you're working and if you have a good score, you can get scholarships. But again, that will also depend on multiple other factors, including your IELTS score, your SOP, your LORs, because there are so many factors which come into play when we talk about scholarships. So we need to know more details in terms of your profile. Sumesh Kumar, we've answered your question. Chandana, data sciences, MSc, stay back and PR. What's your take on data sciences? I think enough said.
Data science is a very niche program. Every live session we tell that's a very good program, and most of the students who are doing data science usually get into jobs also. There is a high demand of data science students. So for this type of students, PR would be also easy if they go to any country like Canada or UK. PR for data science is also very easy.
Right. So, Seema, we've got some answers. Most people are saying B, which is a UK visa and immigration. And there's one person who's saying C. So, yeah, B is the correct answer. So, it was called the UK Border Agency a few years ago, and now they've renamed it to UK Visas and Immigration. So, when you lodge a student visa application, when you lodge a work permit application, when you lodge a skilled worker visa application, your PR application, this body is going to handle your applications. Cool. I'll pick up more questions as we go ahead, and now let's move on to Canada. Over to you, Seema.
So the next destination, which is a very common destinations for PR, that's Canada. So Canada allows the students after any program, it can be PG diploma, master's or bachelor's, they have 1 to 3 years of duration of post-study work visa. So graduate will have to look for a job and gain a minimum of 1 year of work experience. That's very important. When you are in post-study visas, you can earn that 1 year of experience. Once you have 1 year experience, you can apply under Canadian experience class of express entry. Every year, a lot of express entry opens. It can be around 30,000, 40,000 they take. So if you are doing your master's or PG diploma from that same destination, it would be easy for you to get the PR also. And for PR, you have to meet certain conditions. So if you meet those conditions very well, then you can easily get Canada PR. And obviously in Canada also, there is a skills shortage is there. So they require more international students to work in their country. So it's easy to get PR in Canada.
Right. So guys, with Canada, it's like if you study in Canada and if you have a Canadian qualification and plus you add 1 year of Canadian experience, it gives you more points under the express entry. So express entry is basically an immigration point-based system, which is launched by the Canadian government to attract the international workers and students to come and work in Canada and stay back. Right. Moving on to the next slide. Once you make your express entry profile, once you have the work experience, you enter your details into the system, into that portal, the express entry, which talks about your age, because you get points based on a lot of factors. So your age will be one factor, your education will be one factor, higher level of qualification will get you a higher level of points. Your IELTS score, you have to appear for IELTS again. Do note that once you apply for express entry, you need to give GT IELTS, which is general training IELTS. So even if you gave academic IELTS before moving to Canada, you still have to give IELTS again for PR. And then your work experience. So the total work experience, that will also factor in terms of your points. And then, out of when we combine all these factors together, there will be a CRS score, which is called the Comprehensive Review System Score, which is calculated as per the information you furnish. So they'll ask you some information, you give that information, and you enter into a pool of applicants. So at any given time, there would be around, I don't know, like 10,000, 20,000 people in the pool of applicants. And every fortnight, they release a threshold. So let's say someone with a 400 score overall will get invitation to apply. So if your scores are 400 or 400 plus, you will receive an ITA. So I'm giving an idea, the score changes. It changes drastically from season to season as well. So I think after COVID, it has increased a bit right now, as far as I understand. But yeah, but usually it stays around 430 to 450-ish. Sometimes it has also gone 390, as far as I remember. So again, that is pure luck. It's more of a, I would say, lottery kind of system. But again, because you studied in Canada, you have Canadian experience, you can easily score that much. So it's easy for people who are already in Canada to get the ITA, which is the invitation to apply. And once you receive that invitation, whatever information you have given about your age, about your education, about your IELTS, about your work, you have to submit all the documentary proof. So just make sure whatever you're giving out as information has to be in documentary evidence with you. Otherwise, it may kind of affect your application negatively. So everything should be in documents. Right. So now this is the timeline.
2 to 3 years after graduation. So after any postgraduate degree, so 1 to 3 years within that, and express entry profile is for 1 year. And after, generally the timeline for Canada is early. PR to get PR is very early. It's between 1 to 3 years. You are eligible to get the PR. Within the post-study work, right, you can apply for once you gain 1 year of experience, you can apply for express entry profile, and then within a 1 year, you can get into permanent residence. So it's very short timeline to get PR in Canada.
Right. So guys, 1 year I'm saying because 1 year is an ideal situation wherein you already have some experience overseas, where you have, you go to Canada for a master's degree, and then you already have required points. So maybe you get a job right after your graduation. So this is an ideal case scenario, right? So this timeline will differ from person to person. But ideally, I would say for an average person, it can be anywhere between 2 to 3 to 4 years. So this is an ideal case scenario, right? But again, UK, it takes around 5.5 to 7 years. Canada, I would say around 2 to 4 years. That's the maximum stretch I can, say. Because the processing times may be longer because of COVID now, because they have been pushing a lot of applications further. Again, that is also one factor we need to consider right now, because there is a lot of backlog in terms of applications as well. So yeah, cool. There's a next quiz for you, and then as you answer it, I'll pick up a few questions from the audience. So what is the full form of CRS score? I just said it a few moments ago. Is it comprehensive rating system? Is it complex ranking system? Is it comprehensive ranking system, or is it complex rating system? So you guys answer. So I'll pick up a few questions. Cool. Next we have Prakash Pathak. He's asking, are we supposed to get some specific bands in IELTS for UK PR like you're supposed to get for Canada? No. So if you have a British degree, if you study in the UK, then no. But if you are applying for the skilled worker visa from overseas, as in maybe you get a job from India and then you apply for skilled worker visa, then you have to satisfy the IELTS condition. Otherwise, if you have a British degree, then no. Pooja Chaurasia is asking, Seema, very interesting question. For law students, apart from masters, what are the other courses we can opt for? Like maybe another masters for law students.
Masters in HR, they can take into consideration. Instead of law, they can go to for Masters of International Relation, they can take Masters of Communications also they can go for. So in LLM is there. Apart from LLM, Juris Doctor is also there. That's also one thing. Masters of International Relation, Masters of HR. These are the few courses which law student can take into consideration.
I think employment relations and industrial relations is also very good.
Also very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to give you, just to tell you, Pooja, I'm also industrial relations graduate. So my master's is in industrial relations. So definitely an interesting subject to study for law students as well. So a lot of law elements as well, but at the same time, it's pretty interesting to study about the how employment relations work basically. So yeah, you can choose these programs. Jeevit is asking, is it worth to choose Kingston University over University of Westminster for MSc Supply Chain? So which one will you choose? Kingston or Westminster?
Kingston, both are in the same level only, but still he can go for Kingston University.
Right. So Jeevit, Kingston campus is located southwest London, and Westminster is located in central London. So Westminster technically will be expensive to live because it's in central London. So the tuition fee, the cost of living will be higher. However, Kingston is located in southwest London, and the cost of living is little bit lower than central London. So I've lived around that area around Kingston. It's a very, very beautiful campus and amazingly good uni as well. Right. Rohan Gangan is asking, does having a master's degree in a field like finance in the UK make it easier for PR? Finance is definitely a very good option, I think, for UK.
Yeah. Yes, Shakit. Finance is having a lot of options in UK. So anyhow, if the student is going for finance, he will surely manage to get the job, because job is very much mandatory to get for PRs. Finance student gets jobs easily. So that would be one step ahead. They can go and get the PR.
Right. So Rohan, I think it might interest you to know that, London is actually one of the financial hubs in the world, and most of the Fortune 500 companies, and even if you talk about the leading financial firms like EY and Deloitte and PwC and KPMG, out of these 4 big financial firms, 3 of them are headquartered in London. So you can imagine that how big is the financial market in London. So definitely a very good choice. Adi is asking, if you're living in the UK for 5 years on a work permit, is it easy to get PR after that? Yes. So if you satisfy the condition, if you live in the UK for 5 years, you automatically get an ILR. But obviously, you have to apply for it. You don't automatically get, but you have to apply for it. Nishant Goswami, business analytics in Canada and best universities.
Masters in business analytics. There are universities, they can go for Dalhousie University, University of Toronto is there, University of Ottawa is there, a lot of universities are there. Now, depending upon the score, what the student is having, he will be eligible to get into British Columbia is there, University of British Columbia. Masters of Data Science or Data Analytics is having a lot of options, but again, depending upon your academic, you will get into the university.
Right. Now we have a very interesting question. I think this is the first time someone has asked this question. So I think this guy wants to talk about the top-up degrees. So he's doing BTech third year, and he's like, can we apply to the universities abroad? So yeah, UK does offer top-up degrees, right? Seema, can you elaborate a little bit? Verma, I think we're going to answer your question, and this will be a very interesting for a lot of people to know that you can also go for a top-up degree.
Yes, you can do top-up degree any destination. It can be UK, Australia, US, because whatever degree 3 years in 6 semester you have completed. Along with this 3 years of mark sheet, you have to apply for bachelor's degree. Now they will do the credit evaluation, whatever credit you have earned, because our system and their system is quite different. So suppose for 3 years you may not get 3 years waiver, may it come to 2 years waiver or 2.5 years. Whatever the waiver they will give, you have to start from that. So if you get a 2 years waiver, you will be starting from the third year of bachelor's program, the program. So third and fourth year you have to complete. If you get 2.5 years, then 1.5 year you have to complete. Depending upon which university you are doing, depending upon the credits and the evaluations are made from that particular university, then only you will be doing the rest of the part. So obviously you can do top-up things. US
Right,
also you can do.
But in the UK, like, where engineering degrees are usually 3 years, so I think he can easily get into a third year, right? Like the final year. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. In the UK, most likely you're going to get into the third year, which will be your final year, because engineering in the UK is for 3 years. But in other countries, you may get into the third year, which is the second last year of your degree. But again, you have to apply to check. Daljit Singh, affordable universities for low scoring student in the UK. So I think, Daljit, you asked me a question earlier as well. So for bachelors, I would say affordable universities in the UK, I would say Teesside is a good option. Bedfordshire is a good option. Sunderland is also affordable. Greenwich is also, but I think Greenwich has a higher cost of living because of London.
Okay. It's London.
Yeah. So I think Teesside makes a very good option. So Sunderland is there, Huddersfield is there.
Huddersfield.
A lot of other options, I think. I think Cardiff Metropolitan is there, and Birmingham City University is good as well. So these are pretty affordable universities. Anuj Dedia is asking, what can be a roadmap for Canada PR after completing 1-year course? Okay, this is a very tricky question. I do get a lot of these questions. After a 1-year course, you do get a 1-year work permit, right? So you have to look for a job, that stays. So once you look for a job, and normally what happens is usually the employers, they help you extend your work permit. And once you get 1 year of experience, when you collect 1 year of experience, the same system applies to you. So you'll be still on work permit, which will be extended by your employer. But again, you have to apply your PR during that time after completing 1 year of experience. Do you have anything to add here, Seema? Or I think I made sense, right? I'm not a PR expert, so I just want to check with you once. Right. Dr. Ritu Rana, career after Masters in Public Health. I think I don't have to say anything for public health.
Public health is a very good program. And after this COVID, a lot of students are getting, there's a high demand of public health, right? So that's the reason if you complete public health, it may be any destinations, you will easily absorbed in the job market.
Right. And Dr. Ritu Rana, there's one more thing I would like to let you know, that public health is also one of those fields wherein the UK government has lifted the 20 hours thing, because it falls into the NHS, the National Health Service thing. So you can work longer hours even when you're studying, which I don't really recommend because it kind of messes up your whole study. But health sciences graduates, most of them, especially the healthcare administration or the public health people, they get absorbed by the NHS. So NHS is actually one of the largest medical bodies in the world. And they're very, very efficient, very, very efficient. So UK has one of the best healthcare systems in the world, I think. I've personally experienced it because I am a diabetic, and, I've lived in the UK for almost 5 years. And, there was never a case wherein I faced any issues with the health sort of thing. But I think with COVID, a lot of countries did face challenges, and UK was obviously facing challenges as well. And yeah, because that was a pandemic. So yeah, it's understandable. Cool. Next question, Harish. I have a BCom. Is international business a good choice? I
Yes.
think he can also. Yeah, it's a good choice. But if you're wanting to look at other options, you can also look at accounting and finance.
Right.
That's again a good BCom people. I've also seen them doing financial investment. Investment management is also a good program now. Right. Next question. Shubham, roadmap for computer sciences in the UK. I would need to know which are you wanting to go for, a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. Shitu is asking which university gives admission without IELTS.
Admissions without IELTS.
So I think she means to say IELTS waivers.
IELTS waiver she can find in some of the US university, but apart from that, other means UK also we have to check what is her 12th marks. If her 12th English marks is pretty good, then she can get a waiver. So there are a lot of university.
Yeah. So Shitu, it will depend on your 12th score, how much you got your 12th marks, and plus IELTS waivers in the UK are mostly for people from CBSE and ICSE. So if you studied in these boards, then good enough. Also, there are certain universities, they'll also give you waivers based on some state boards, not all of them, but maybe something like Karnataka board or a Maharashtra board or a West Bengal board or Kerala and Tamil Nadu board. As far as I know, I think Coventry is giving offer letters for these boards as well. Right. Tanmay is asking, what are your views for a master's in computer sciences, University of Strathclyde?
Anytime it's good. So he has got a very good offer letter. So he can close that offer letter, accepting that offer letter, because that university's ranking is very good. And the course also, MS in computer science, is always a demandable course.
Right. Cool. The next question we have from Harsh. He's asking, MS in information system and management, future prospects. Is it comparable to MBA? Okay. So Harsh, let me answer your question in a very straightforward manner. MBA as a course is more professional. I would say it's a professional course. MS would be something like is designed for someone who does not have work experience, but they want a master's degree and get into the whole employment thing after completing their studies, because not a lot of people don't want to take break in their employment. So it will entirely depend on your personal circumstances. Second, the major difference between the two courses is the MS is more theoretically oriented, and the MBA is more practically oriented or vocationally oriented. And by that, I do not mean that you don't learn practical elements in MS. You do, but MBA would have a certain element like a company project or something like that, which gives you a sort of a real world experience, depending on what kind of specialization you go for. So these are the basic difference between the two programs.
And MBA is also advisable if you are having work experience. If you don't have work experience, it is better to do masters in one particular subject. So master would be the right choice if you are not having work experience.
Right. So I think, Seema, there have been a lot of questions on this very similar thing. I just remembered, it kind of triggered. So someone without work experience, I would always tell them that, you should always go for a master's at a better ranked university rather than going for a freshers MBA at a lower ranked university. Right?
Right.
I hope that answers your question, guys. Next question is from Jayesh Patel. I think I've answered that. No, Jayesh Patel, MSc Product Development and Management from Cranfield. Cranfield is amazing uni, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, and plus I think they're known for their management and these kind of programs. So definitely a good choice. Saran Singh is asking Canada, UK, or Australia, which is good to study law.
Any time law is better in UK.
Yeah.
UK law is a bar council accredited law. Most of the university is having. So always UK for law students, they can close their eyes and go to UK.
Right. So guys, in case, in the future you have to come back to India or any unforeseen circumstances or something like that, then yeah, like obviously I think UK will make more sense. But like Seema said, it is accredited. Most universities are accredited by the Bar Council of India. So you can come back and practice as a lawyer in India as well, in case you have to come back. Is there any way to get sponsorship based on Indian master's degree? Sponsorship, I don't understand this question. Ramakrishna, I don't understand your question. If you can rephrase your question, like how, maybe if you're talking about scholarship, does LeapScholar help in this? Sponsorship, maybe he's trying to say like some company sponsored?
Company sponsorship.
Yeah. So does that happen? Leap doesn't,
No.
Leap, no. We don't do that for sure, but LeapScholar, we do have Leap Scholarship. So if you
Scholarship
apply
and we do finance also. Leap finances also are there, but sponsorship we don't do.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you apply through us, you may get a scholarship as well. So I think there is a link floating in the description box. On that note, if you, like I said, if you apply through LeapScholar and you are one of the top applicants, you can also get a scholarship from Leap. And I think last year, in the last intake, we offered 1 crore plus scholarship, Indian rupees, to around 26 people. So that's a huge amount of money, like not 1 crore each, but it was like collectively 1 crore plus. I don't have the exact value. But again, even if you get like a 10 lakh, 15 lakh scholarship, it's a good, I think, value for money proposition. So apply through us. There is a link which is floating in the comment box, and you can click on that link, and yeah, you can book a free one-on-one counseling session. Okay, Uday has a very interesting question, Seema. I'm from electronics background and wanted to change my major into computer science and specifically artificial intelligence. Which country is to best? I think Canada is not advisable.
Canada is not advisable, but he can go to Australia, US also, and UK also. As he is having electronics, he can move to artificial intelligence. Maybe some good university will tell him to take a pre-master's program and then move with a master's program. But in Australia, he can easily go with electronics background. They take students for master's in computer science also.
Right. Next question from Navjot Singh: Birmingham City or Oxford Brookes? Oxford Brookes, any day. Better ranked university, and yeah, it's one of the good modern universities in the UK. Akshay is asking affordable engineering management universities in the UK. So many affordable, I think. So many of them.
Program, and that's the reason it's so many universities are there, which is affordable only.
Right. So I think, Akshay, you can check out any post-1992 university. So post-1992 universities are called modern universities. So there are loads of them, and most of them are going to cost you, for the whole program, I think they're not going to cost you more than 16 to 17 lakhs, right? So that's so that's pretty, I would say, affordable, because I think most Indian private universities charge more fee these days. So someone was telling me, like, I was just speaking to one of my neighbors here, and they were telling me that, they're paying close to like 20 lakh rupees for a hospitality degree. So I think if you get an international degree, it does kind of help you in the future.
ROI is greater than doing in India.
Yeah. Cool. Murli is asking what would be the minimum CRS score required for a draw in Canada, which is to be resumed soon. Murli, I'm sorry, but I'm aware of the PR process, but I'm not a PR expert, so I cannot predict what would be the minimum CRS score which will be required. But again, keep checking, because this is a very, I would say, unpredictable thing to kind of tell you, okay, like what CRS score is going to be resumed now. Chinola Uday is asking, planning to study MBA, and some people are saying that PR in UK is hard. See, I'll put it that way. It is definitely hard, right? But definitely harder than Canada for sure. But again, if you compare it to something like US, then definitely easier. I'm not sure about Australia. Australia is also tricky, right?
Right. Australia PR, you based on certain earning that points. If you earn that points, that based on your educations, your age, your IELTS, the location where you are living, it can be regional. For regional, you are earning. And apart from that, if you are having certain work experience, altogether, you have to get more than 65 points to get the PR. So it's not very difficult, but from the very beginning, when you are doing your classes, you have to be more focused. You have to make proper interaction, means channel should be there. You should have lot of people, communication with lot of people, get the jobs immediately, have a good work experience. So these small thing. Apart from that, your resume has to be updated. They have their small certifications which you include in your CV, that will be helpful for you to get the PR easily.
Right. To put the long thing short, see, things are hard. Obviously, it's nothing comes easy. I'm sorry, I'm trying. I'm being very philosophical now, but yeah. So challenges are everywhere. Getting a job in India is also not an easy task these days. There's so much competition. Back in the day, maybe there was not, but now, go to big city, anywhere you go, it's a hustle basically. So the chances are like almost similar everywhere. I have seen certain students who were not able to, maybe settle down in Canada or something like that. So that is entirely, person to person. It will vary. But again, like I said, it's again a lot of luck factor is involved, and nothing is hard if you keep trying. If you keep upskilling yourselves, that's the most important part. And if you keep networking with people, I'm pretty much sure getting a job is not a difficult task. I see. I'll give you my example. Like every job I've got till now, I've worked in the UK, I've worked in New Zealand as well. I'm working at Leap today. All my jobs are through networking. So I've got all my jobs through networking. I knew people, I connected with them, and who knows, something clicks. And there's one thing I like to tell you, that don't be afraid to ask for help. You can reach out to people on LinkedIn. And this is the basic thing you should understand when you're studying abroad. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed to ask for help. You never know what is going to click. So when I was looking for a job, I messaged so many people, I reached out to so many people. Some replied, some did not reply. That is going to happen. And then someone replied, and I got interviewed, and I got the job. So that's how it happens. So you have to keep trying. So okay, I'll not say anything a word more. I think I'm doing a lot of motivational talk today. Cool. I'll pick up one or two more questions. I think Dhaval has given us an answer. So he has a gap. From 2016, he did aeronautical engineering. So I think it will be difficult, right?
Difficult. Gap. Any destination nowadays, they are very concerned about the gap thing. So gap is not at all taken into a good thing.
Right. Next question from JK Media Productions for MBA MBA, which country is best? I think UK. I'll choose UK because you don't need GMAT for most top schools. Then maybe Seema has a different opinion.
Australia also, you don't have to give GMAT. So Australia would be another destination. So UK, at least you can complete in 1 year. That is most interesting thing. So MBA in 1 year you can complete. But whereas in Australia, GMAT is not required, but course will be a 2 years course only.
Right. We have one Australia question here. 1 year marketing diploma, postgraduate diploma course in Australia. Okay, cost. Seema, I think we should tell him that he cannot get a post-study work visa after 1 year course.
No. It has to be 18 calendar months. They have to remain in Australia. Means technically it would be 2 years course to get post-study work visa.
Right.
So
and what is the approximate cost for 1 year?
1 year, if it is a master's course, approximate cost will be around 20 to 25 lakhs. In a decent university, there are universities within 20 lakhs also.
Right. And in all this humdrum, I forgot to answer this question, I think. So it's a comprehensive ranking system. C. Am I correct? Yeah. Even I forgot. Yeah, it's a comprehensive ranking system.
Ranking system.
Right. Cool. I'll pick up one more question. Something different. Yeah, Neha is asking, is GRE mandatory along with IELTS for MS in data science or any computer related course for PG? I think UK, not really. Australia, not really. Canada, I think some universities may ask.
And US nowadays are giving GRE waiver. Most of the universities are giving GRE waiver. So if you are looking for a GRE waiver, this is the right time to apply within September 2022.
Right. Cool. So guys, with this, we end this webinar and this live session, because I've been doing a lot of webinars as well. Cool. So after we end this session, this video will be available on YouTube for you to check out if you want to listen to it again. And you can also put some suggestions in the comments box, like which kind of what topic you would like us to cover in the next live. So just give us some ideas and we'll be back with another session soon. And thank you so much for joining, Seema. Thank you so much for answering so many questions. And we are sorry if we could not answer all the questions, but we have time constraints. Cool. So just let us know in the comments that which topic you would like us to cover in the next live, and we'll be happy to answer all the questions. Cool. Thank you, Seema.
Thank you, Saket, for calling.